Listen to the Men's Lane podcast, a community of strong men through knowledge, growth, and leadership. With your host, Alex Montenegro.
All right. Well, listen, people. I am so fired up. If only you could see me right now, you'd see this dork smiling ear to ear and quite literally. Am I right?
Yeah, that's pretty big, brother.
but with good reason, though. My next guest define what it means to be a powerhouse couple, serving their community, involved in charity work, spreading messages of love and perseverance, all while just slaying it to the music industry. And before I reveal them, I want you guys to sink your teeth into some of this stuff because it is big. So 6 albums with worldwide chart-topping success. 7 weeks at #1 with Informer on the US Billboard Hot 100s. In 2014, he released the massive single Shame with Michael Rose, all proceeds generously donated to the fight against cancer. And last year, he released a single with Daddy Yankee that just took the world by storm. It currently sits at a record-breaking 2 billion views, and that's YouTube alone. So, without further ado, the one and only reggae hip-hop artist, Snow, and his wife, actress, model, producer, Tara O'Brien. I mean, come on.
How you doing, brother? How's everything over there? Good?
Oh, it is so good over here. It's a beautiful day here in Vancouver. I get to spend some time with Snow and Tara, so it's unreal. What's going on in the Snow family right now?
Well, just, mostly staying in, you know, getting updated with our music, our old time music, going through our vinyl collection, going through our games and stuff.
Oh, I love it. So I've been following your Snow Much Fun Instagram and just love your listening party series. And as much as it's about spinning great tunes and chatting with your fans, I think it really showcases your playful, humble, and loving dynamic as a couple. And in the midst of marriages falling apart, with the quarantine pandemic, divorce rates are skyrocketing right now. And I think it's so refreshing to see a couple that really just holds on to the very thing that made you fall in love in the first place. And what I see is friendship. And so I want to shine a spotlight on you guys because I think you guys are an incredible couple and have an amazing story that I really want to share on this podcast with everybody.
Yes. Oh, this is great. This comes just perfect timing with our 4th anniversary.
Oh, that is amazing. Well, I'm so happy that you guys are here with me today. I want to get started and ask you my first question, and it's a critical one. Do you or do you not believe in aliens?
It's a loaded question for us because...
Only in Japan. My manager used to say, when you go to Japan, say you believe in aliens a lot because they love aliens in Japan.
Really?
I hope so. I hope we're not the only ones on here. I hope that I hope they're they like reggae music and stuff. That'd be cool.
Oh, they do. So I hear that some people are out there stargazing, but the Snow family's out there UFO gazing. Is there some truth to that?
We definitely see some interesting things, objects in the sky, quite frequently, and we're open to it. Just like Darren said, we hope there's other people or other things or aliens out there, not just us.
My favorite movie is E.T. That's one of the only movies I cried to.
Oh yeah,
if he's cool like E.T., I'm open arms for all of them.
Oh, me too. And the thing I've always believed in aliens, and not necessarily that they look like these little green creatures, because I think maybe we're also aliens, right? There's probably like a ton of different life forms out there, but yeah, I think it would be so cool to see like an alien or a ship or a UFO or whatever. Because there's just so much like documented of them. It's got to be real, right?
Isn't it in Vancouver and Stanley Park? Isn't that a hotbed for aliens? I heard that wasn't it? Remember?
I think so,
Yeah.
I haven't heard about that, to be honest.
Right. You're lying. You're probably an alien.
Yes, I am an alien, guys, and this alien has a next question for you. How did you guys meet?
Well, I'll take this one. We met at a big party at Much Music. And I knew somebody that also knew Snow. And so we were there, and Darren did see me. I didn't see him. And he went, and I guess he saw that I was talking to a mutual friend of his. And then he went up to her and then asked for my number and just asked if she could ask, me and all that good stuff. So she came back up to me like a little bit later on in the night and she said, hey, like a good friend of mine wants your number. And right away I was just like, maybe he could just ask me, like, why are you asking? Like, this is kind of odd. I don't know. And then she's like, oh, he's just really shy. So I was just like, I said, no. I was like, no, I'm good.
And Snow, of course, you didn't give up. So what was it about her that enticed you and continued your pursuit for her?
She had like this mask on, so I couldn't really see, and she had this beautiful dress.
Okay, well, you literally said it was the ugliest outfit you had ever seen. And I was like, whoa, that's a great...
That's
awesome.
Snow wooing right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, so after that, I actually was intrigued. So he did invite me out to go somewhere, and we did go on our first date. But the reason we went on our first date after he was like negging me, was because I was like, whoa, he has the balls to do that. Like, okay, like this is wild. Like, I was just very like, it was interesting. I was like, no, nobody does that. He was like the opposite. So.
Oh, really? All right. So the first date, what was the first impression? Because I mean, you've got this guy calling you up and saying that you had an ugly dress on,
yeah.
But it intrigued you at the same time. So what was the first impression? The first date? What was it like?
If I was her, I would have wore that dress on our first date. I would have came down all dolled up and everything in that same dress.
Oh my god. Well, okay. So my first impression was so he asked me to meet him in Yorkville, and he said, you can bring one of your friends, whatever. Like, it'll be me and a bunch of friends. And what I thought, I actually thought that was really safe. It was really easy.
For me?
What? Yeah, okay. So just because in case we both wanted to bail, it was easy to bail. We met at a restaurant in Yorkville, and there was like 20 of his friends with them. And, we could get to know each other. I could see who his friends were. I was able to bring someone, and it felt really real and authentic, and it was a great night. And actually we ended up going for a walk after without everybody.
Hold on. And all the people that she met that night came to our wedding.
No way. Really? That is insane.
Yeah. So all my friends, like I got like 60 of them who I'm with all the time, since kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, been together forever. Right. So that's who I want her to meet. And she's got to meet my family. Because it's like meeting a real true family. Like, you got to go meet father and mother. This is and plus a thing like what she said is like, if she didn't really like who I was or whatever, she could leave and it was cool. Like,
that is insane. You guys are like on a whole different level. Like, I never would have thought of doing that at all, but it's such a good idea. It's true because I mean, you gotta part of loving someone is also loving their world, you know what I mean? Like their family, their friends, people. You don't want to change for anybody because that's who you are.
Yeah. You know what? That was our first date. And then our second date, he took me around and showed me who his uncle was, Uncle Patty. So like there was always some character or something going on. And it was always just so fun and super effortless.
Oh, I love it. So I heard that you guys were ambushed by a brigade of police and helicopters while playing Yahtzee in the car. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, first off, I think we were like super ahead of our time playing board games isolated in a car. So we were super safe. That was all true 110%. Like it was insane. I mean, I don't think I've ever. I mean, there's more stories like that, but nothing like the helicopter. Like the cop helicopters. That's the most cops that we've ever had in our like dating stories.
Yeah. There's more.
Oh God,
we've been chased.
Yeah, we've been.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it right now. You guys are probably gonna have like a 3-part series here. Okay.
It's wild the things that we.
One time we were in New York City. We were in New York City, and the worst place in New York City is Crown Heights, right across from George Washington, the bridge right there. I was staying in Jersey, but the bridge closes. Right, you can't walk over it at nighttime. So me and her, it's like 2:00 in the morning, and we're like, you can't get over this thing. And the cab cost is like $80 to take us over across the street. So we're trying to like figure out a way to get across this big George Washington Bridge. Late at night. Nobody's I start hitchhiking. Nobody picks us up. I said, you hitchhike.
I've never hitchhiked.
I hid, right? I hid. This is New York City, 1 o'clock at George Washington Bridge from Crown Heights.
Yeah.
So I hid. And
I went
boom,
like this.
she hitchhiked. 2 seconds later, boom. 2 black guys pick her up. Get in, right? And I come out. How you doing, brothers? They're like, what the hell are you?
Yeah. He came out of the shadow.
They got us in the back seat, man. But they drove us. They started getting a little nervous at us.
But they let us off, and it was fun. But that was
let us off on the highway. They started going down another highway. I'm like, pull over here, brother. I'll get out right here. Drop us off right on the highway.
Yeah.
We have to run across the highway.
Yep. Oh yeah. But you know what? That was my very first hitchhiking ever experience. So I've never hitchhiked before. And I was like, wow, this is a great way to start in New York City.
Wow, you guys are such an adventurous couple, eh?
Yeah, we're just an adventure team. We love
sometimes I sit down and I say, okay, listen, we got to really chill out. We'd be going to like Barbados and meeting people, and he'll be like, yo, Snow, you just come in the hood with me for a minute, just meet some people, and I'll be like, all right, and it's like 12 at night, we're walking through like grass fields, and
yeah.
And so we were like, we got to chill out on that, because most of the time I have a lot of people, but when me and her go away,
it's just
we just go away alone. You know what I mean?
It's pretty cool too, because globally people know Darren. Like I'm telling you, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. At least one person will say, "Are you Snow?" And then what? And then
I bet.
Pictures. It's true, and I'm telling you, I'm there. So it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Oh, I love it, and that's one of the greatest things about you, Snow. I mean, like you're known worldwide. I mean, the Spanish community loves you. The Jamaicans love you. I'm part of the Spanish community. I was about to say the white community, and I was pointing at you. but everybody loves you. So I think that's so awesome.
You know why? You feel it. People feel it. Especially Jamaicans. Jamaicans feel it. If you're faking it, you could be not even good. You could be not good and sing in Jamaica, and they will love you because you have it in your heart and you love it and you respect it. So they feel that. So they feel no racism ever coming off of me towards anything about Spanish or this or that or that. It's like the aliens. Yeah. Let them come. We love them all.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good point, Snow. And this is one of the biggest reasons why we love you so much, because, I mean, you've been pumping out some awesome music for decades now, and you never seem to fail that rhythm, that beat, that feeling.
I'm not just trying to sell you nothing. I'm not politically, I'm not trying to, I just have fun with it and just blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I'm mumbling, sometimes this, sometimes.
And I love that because you could see it in everything that you do, all your music and your videos. You could see you're having fun.
Oh, and that's all I do is have fun. If I don't want to do something, I won't do it.
Oh, God,
I'm not in a marriage to be in a marriage because I want to be in a marriage or be this or that. I'm in a marriage because I'm 100% in this marriage and I love it.
Oh, preach it. It's so refreshing to hear that, Snow. I see it and I feel it. You guys have such awesome passion for one another and adventure with one another as well. I think it's so awesome to see that. And I also get the feeling that you guys just know one another so well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. No, we've known each other for a while, and I think it goes back to what you were saying too, is that friendship. We were friends for months and months and months and months. Like we were just friends, and we talked on the phone. We got to know each other really slowly, and I think that now with everything happening with in unprecedented times. People have had to go back to that. And I think that's important because you can't see each other, but you can, have FaceTime dates and things like that. And I think that's really important. Get to know someone first.
You know what I love?
What?
I've been to Colombia by myself with about 5 guys in a big mansion house.
Yes.
#1 song, Concalma. I'm in Colombia. She doesn't worry. I phone her at 3-4 in the morning and say, I'm going to sleep right now. And there's no, well, where were you? There's none of that. That makes you feel really good because when somebody's nagging you all the time and not trusting you and saying, why you phone me? FaceTime me. it's like going into the water and trying to hold on to it and grab onto it and cling onto the water. You're going to sink it. You're going to drown, right? You got to float. You trust the water, and you got to float. And just trust it, So that's what I really liked about being married and her not. And it could not even be for work. It doesn't even have to be for work. I said, I'm going to Florida for a week with my friends. We're going to go chill out, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead, have a good time, blah, blah, blah. And the same with her. So that's the number one thing is trust. Like a president of the United States, if he didn't have trust, the top people in companies have trust. Because if they can't trust your vice president, he's going to be up all night worrying about everybody else, right? And you can't get your job done because you're worried and you can't trust nobody. So that's why you got to have trust when you run your business the best way you can, and you run your marriage the best way you can.
So true, so true. So I want to ask you guys, when did you know that you were the one for one another? Because again, it just seems like you guys had this clear connection.
I fell in love with Darren pretty early on.
Wow.
Yeah, and what I would do is when I was discovering that I was falling in love with him, I didn't want to be all, I love you. I don't know. I just didn't, it was just so intense and so deep, this love. And also like the fact that like just weird things that connected us together. It was like this magic was brewing and I didn't know exactly how to contain it or what to do. So what I would do is I would write poetry. And
nice.
At the end of our dates, I would have it ready and it would be on a tiny little piece of paper and I had handwritten, wrote it, and I would roll it up and I would give it to him and I would just put it in his hand.
Like a kite in prison.
Darren!
Sorry, babe.
From romance to prison.
You're rolling something up to get this kite from somebody. Right. Go on, sorry.
Great, lovely. So romantic. And he's like, yeah, so I would over, because we wouldn't see each other all the time at the beginning, because he was just all over the place, in studio, all over. So anyway, we would spend a lot of time apart, and so I would have time to write these pieces, and then I would give it to him on the times that I would see him.
So
and she'll be publishing them soon. All them.
Yeah.
Oh,
actually,
that is awesome. I was actually going to ask if you were going to do that.
So I actually have a binder full of work that I made for him. And when I was starting to act and to model and things like that, I ended up at poetry readings. And I would go on stage and write and read his poetry that I would write for him out loud, and I would have people come up to me and ask if they could buy it, and I had people crying, and it was just, it actually, so by loving him, I actually was learning about myself and my talents and what I had real passion for and what I was really good at.
That's so beautiful because
right?
a great relationship brings out the best in one another.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes it's things that we didn't realize we had in the first place, like you were saying, poetry.
Yeah, you know what? Love literally brought all of what I do now out into the world. So I just think a connection and finding that connection is just, it does elevate your life if you find that right one, and taking your time, being slow about it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the keys that I think really helps.
It seems to me that you guys really, really invested in one another.
I think we did. And it wasn't, like I said, it was a very slow process. It took years. And because that's just real. And with Darren, in his world was so all over the place, and just, I can't even imagine, in terms of trusting, it takes time to build trust.
Right. So Snow, my wife would kill me along with other women listening right now. How did you propose? You gotta give us all the deets.
For some beats?
Deets.
Oh.
How did you propose? I would love some beats, but we were looking for a proposal story.
We're from Toronto, right? And I'm thinking, we could do whatever, I'm thinking, let's go to the top of the CN Tower because it's the tallest. And we could just look over our city and then, you know. And even from the CN Tower, you can look over and see America over there. So we just went up there and said, all right, let's just get married and conquer this. You know, we'll start with our city first, and then we'll go conquer the world. So I just think it's a good place to be up there, you know. So then we had a beautiful dinner, and then after that, we walked around, and then
we went to my parents after.
But no, in the CN Tower, they have the floor that is like the glass floor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, I went down on the knee, ding, ding, dong, you know. I went on the knee, right? And because remember, this is new. Like I've done a lot of things in my life. I've done like a lot of things 8 times, 6 times, 3 times, 5. This is the first. This is like never ever. This is it, right? So but it went. You know, I guess it wasn't that nervous because if it's too nervous, why are you nervous?
Right.
You know what I mean? Why are you nervous for? You know?
Yeah.
So it just felt right. It just felt right, and not so much nervous. It just felt right and fun, and get down, and I, you know, got the ring for her, and then gave her the ring, and she just, you know.
She said no, right?
She said no for a bit, and then I phoned up her friend.
No.
And I told her, I said, I'm holding an hour hostage. She doesn't say yes. Nobody's getting out of the tower.
Just to end off on that is that, so we went over to my parents after, and they were all happy. And then we went back to his place, and he had 24 roses, rose petals everywhere. So it was like there was a follow-up to it, which was really lovely as well. But that was a huge surprise.
Wow, what a romantic Snow.
And then he did get me, because ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted a blue sapphire. And he got me the blue sapphire too.
Nice.
So it was just unbelievable.
I bet.
And then I would say 2 days later, he left for Jamaica for 6 months. So
it's a Snow thing to do.
He's like, all right, I'm out. Bye.
Tara, you posted up something so beautiful about your wedding day and how it was like a childhood dream. And I kind of want you to elaborate on that.
Oh, thank you. Well, when I was a kid, I went to a school that was a castle. And my first interview...
I went to reform school.
No, it was
I'm kidding.
Yeah, it was a private girls' school. And my first interview to go there was when I was 10 years old. And so I've known that school since I was 10. I started when I just turned 13. And then I finished when I was like 18. So I grew up there. Because I'm an only child and my parents were working downtown. And so I would spend a lot of extra hours there, which they would let us do that. So I actually spent a very, very long time there. And so when I was in grade 7, I had this dream of there's like this staircase in like the foyer of the castle. And I had this dream that I wanted to get married at the top of the stairs where there was stained glass. And I wanted just all my friends and family around at the bottom, just standing, just super informal, chill, whatever. But I wanted to like walk in, in that and go all the way up the stairs to the stained glass. And so, yeah, it turned out that like a few years before we got engaged, my school started doing weddings for for people. So being alumni, I could get in no problem and ahead of just regular random people. So we got a slot. And then when I went back there, because we had to go back and talk to the liaison and everything. And of course, my parents, we were all overjoyed. And Darren had never been inside. He'd only seen outside. So it was just lovely. And when we went there, I realized that the whole time that I went there, that in the stained glass where I pictured in my head when I was 13, the O'Brien coat of arms was up there.
Wow.
And I guess was because like the school was designed and it started being built in like 1854.
Mm-hmm.
So like in, mid 1800s. So like there was no way that like I don't even know I guess it must have been whoever owned it. They had that as their coat of arms. But my O'Brien coat of arms I'm marrying into was literally there the whole time I went to school.
Wow.
And so I just started tears, because it was just like one of those things when you realize that this tapestry just comes together and you're meant to be with someone. And sometimes you're destined. And I just saw that and I thought, oh my God, I was destined for him this whole time.
Amazing. It's amazing how life comes full circle, because at one point you're alone and you come back to the very same point that you started at, only whole.
Yeah. And I never thought I would ever, that was my hope and my dream, but I was kind of an ugly duckling and whatnot. And so I never thought that it would ever happen, but that was my dream at 13. So my 13-year-old self I just bawled and I was weeping basically.
Wow. I can see that this still has a profound effect on you. A lot of emotions.
100%. It'll always do that because it's one of those things where if you believe in destiny or you don't, and it just stares you in the face, it's like you have no other choice. So it's just magic. Just whoa.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Tara. It's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah.
Of course. So I heard that CTV and Kiss FM covered your wedding day. What was that like? Because I mean, weddings are so emotional. They're so, it's an unexplainable thing. So I can't imagine having media out there.
We didn't tell them. That was the weird part.
Crazy.
First off, the church portion was literally for my mother because she really wanted us to get married in a church. But I really wanted to get married at the castle.
Right.
So then I realized that, this is as much as my mom's day as it is mine. So I was like, let's do it 50-50. What if we had one ceremony in the church, like my mom's, whatever church she wanted, and then we get another one where I want at the staircase in the castle. So that was great. And so the church, no one knew about the church. Literally, I would say 20 people knew. And those 20 people, there's no way they would have been like, CTV, hey, by the way, so we still don't know to this day how they even found it. Because the church itself, it's not even like St. Michael's Cathedral, the big one that everyone knows. It's this random one uptown, right?
Such weasels.
It was just so wild. They didn't, I thought it like any, Trafalgar maybe, but not at the church. But yeah, so it was just they were actually very, they were being kind to us, and they just literally took some shots and then they were gone.
Oh,
so
nice.
I mean, it was really fast, and it was actually, I have to say, the next day when they broadcast it, my mom, she had an aneurysm 2 weeks before my wedding, and she almost died.
Wow.
And yeah, so she was kind of a little bit out of it for the wedding, exactly, because she was obviously on medication and whatnot. And so that, her seeing us get married in the church broadcast on CTV literally lifted her spirits and made her get better faster.
Wow.
Her face, seeing her, the priest that she loves, us get at the altar, it was her best moment of her life. I'm telling you. So that makes that whole thing, I'm just glad that it happened so that she could just get better faster, because she was very, very close to dying.
Wow. Well, it sounds like it was very much meant to be then. So you guys have an anniversary coming up, 4 years. What does this one in particular mean to you guys?
Nothing. Same. When them alcoholics, they go, I'm sober for 349 days and I'm sober. Well, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just saying that it's a beautiful thing, and every day is exactly the same. Every day is beautiful. I don't bring her roses on her anniversary, or I don't bring her roses on her birthday. I bring it every day. I bring as much as I can. You can ask her. I'm not just,
Yeah.
And that's how I am. And she's known me for a long time, and so I don't change. That's why I keep all my friends the same. But she loves roses, so I just bring her roses. I
do.
Yeah. Romantic.
There's nothing that we don't fight over dishes or this or that. You know what I mean? I sleep all day. I sleep till about 3, 2, 3 in the morning, 2, 3 in the afternoon.
You sleep till around 12 now.
No, I'm up at 12. I get out of bed 2, 3 in the morning. But she's in the other room. She could be blaring music, doing whatever. And I don't get, turn it down. Maybe if it's a little bit, can you turn? Okay. But
Yeah.
and the same with me. I'll be out there at 3 a.m. watching TV and playing it loud, and she'll just if it is a little too, there's no
Yeah, I think we just coexist really great together because we give each other space. Like, I think that's key, is that, like, giving your partner space and letting them do their thing, and just, communicating what you're doing. Like, I have my little rituals in the morning, and then I come in the office here, the studio, and I get stuff done, and then, whatever else I need to do. So, yeah. It's super simple.
That's not every couple, so I could just say, oh yeah, every couple should do the exact same thing. You know, a lot of couples who are going through hard times, maybe they weren't supposed to be together in the first place. And like you said at the beginning, you said there's a high rate of divorces.
Yeah.
Right. But I bet you in about 3-4 months after this is settled all down and whatever, there's going to be a hell of a lot more marriages than divorces, because the people are going to start realizing, oh my God, we went through this together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't need nobody. I didn't need that. Oh, I don't need to go out on Friday nights to go see anybody, because I'm fine here.
True
I'm
that.
happy at my house. I'm happy with her.
Yeah.
So, and this is before this all happened. You know what I mean? So I'm home. I'm home happy anyways.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. And then also too, having to spend so much time together quarantined, then I
tell her she's the best cellmate I ever had. I tell her, I said, you're the best. I had Uncle Patty, I had my brother, I had HC, I had my dad, I had everybody in my cell. She's the best one I've been locked up in so far.
Yeah, because I guess we kind of work for a good time. That's
myself. But I think we go to yard. Sometimes we go to yard.
Yeah. Oh my God, yard. But I think just being real with people. I think that because you're together so much. You
gotta be happy. That's it. Bottom line, period. If you're not happy, leave.
Yeah.
Leave. Don't stick around because just you gotta be happy.
Right.
And
it's also so important to know that we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
That's right.
Like, there ain't no tomorrow. Yeah. When have you ever woke up and said, "Oh my God, this is the best tomorrow I've ever been in my life"?
True.
There's no tomorrow. They just dangle it like a carrot to you, so you get worried about this thing that's not even there, doesn't even exist. So just live your life now, live it right now, and don't worry, because that's a lot of people's problem too is with relationships, is they worry. Oh my God, she's going to cheat on me, and it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
You're worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet. Living now, you're thinking of next week. Oh my God, and it happens every time. It happens to everybody. It happens. Oh my God, I can't pay my rent. I can't do this and they worry. And at the end of the month, the rent gets paid and everything, and then they start worrying about the next one.
Yeah.
Stop all that worrying and stop all that stuff.
That's some great advice there, because we live in society where that's exactly what we do. We just worry every single day. I'm addicted to that as well, but I'm kind of now at the point where I just, I enjoy life. I take it as it comes. What advice would you give people out there wanting to get married or in the midst of getting married? What advice would you give them for a successful, healthy marriage?
Well, I just think being transparent with each other. I think that's important. And then what I said too is just giving people space.
Trust.
And then trust, communication.
Don't hold on.
Yeah.
When they say let it go, when they say if you let something go and it comes back, it was meant for you.
Yeah.
Right? It's like your breath.
Yeah.
It's like your breath when you breathe. It's the holy breath. When you blow, you breathe in. If you hold it, you're gonna die. You hold on to it, you're gonna die. You let it go, and then it comes back to you and you breathe again.
Well, and then you know what?
Hold on.
And interestingly enough, we went through a time when I wanted to take things more seriously, and Darren didn't. And I was okay with that. That was another thing, is that I was transparent with him. I said, I definitely want to get married. My parents are still married and they're happy. And, I see that it works. And, that's somewhere where I want to go.
That's where she's coming from, too. It works.
Yeah.
And it's still working. Her family's been together forever. And, and they get along like us. They don't. There's not a bickering over there. They run things smooth over there.
It's
he
true.
Does some shopping. She does some shit.
Yeah, so it's never, so I guess what I'm saying is that nothing's perfect and that you do have to be transparent. And I did say, hey, I want to get married down the line. And he didn't. And, we parted ways for, a little over a year. And,
Oh no. Really?
and that was part of growing as both of us separately, because then in that year, I guess you realize, well, yeah, maybe it is kind of cool to have a life partner or a teammate, and then, I went to school and I did my own stuff, but I was also feeling like, geez, I really wanted a teammate as well. And then, destiny brought us back together, and then we held on 100%, and that was it. So it's like, you do have to go through things, and nothing is ever perfect. So
yeah, don't think we're we never got into a fight. Yeah, but truthfully,
it's how you get out of the fight. It's how you
I don't even remember a fight.
Yeah, exactly.
We had
exactly. Like
she knows how I am. If I'm in a bad mood, she'll just leave me alone and just that's it. Boom. I'm just in a bad mood, and it's not really.
And that's what that is. That's getting to know your partner. That's also watching
huge.
Your partner, right? Like,
totally.
Because you can talk up a storm and say all these things, but if you're not listening and you're not looking and you're not seeing how that person interacts with just everyday things, then you're never really going to understand them. And so Darren is very much similar. Like, he's a Scorpio, my dad's a Scorpio, and their anger, or they're like, when they're in a bad mood, it's so similar. So I can actually see if he's in a bad mood. I'm like, oh, and then I'm just like, I'm just gonna give him some space. And so I'll go to the grocery store. I'll give him some time, like,
so that we're not some cheesecake.
Yeah. But it's like, it's just like knowing and listening to what the other needs. It's knowing their needs before they know it, and really understanding each other. That's what true partnership is.
Totally. And that's huge because, again, it goes back to investing in one another. You want to bring out the best in each other and focus on what your partner needs, what they want, what they're like, get to know them. And it comes full circle right back to you as well. And I also think it requires a little bit of just letting things go.
I think that's so important. Yes.
You're going to get on people's nerves at this time right here. Yes. You have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's just a lot, you can't do much in this stuff. But I don't know, it's just have fun. Just be real and have fun. And don't, I don't know. We don't think about it so much. Like, we just go with it and just, that's it.
No, and I do have to say that, I mean, I don't know, like, we talked about this, but I feel like him being in jail also really prepared him for this, because it's like being in a tiny little place. Like, this is like luxury compared to a cell, but just having to spend time and not really doing much for, an X amount of time, or wondering, okay, what's going to happen to me? Do I have a bail hearing? When's my next court case? Like, when do I charge it? Like, all these stressful things are similar to what is happening. Like, what's going to be open? And I got to watch the news and find out what Trudeau's saying. And this,
But the only thing is when it was happening to me, when I was in jail, it was happening to me.
Right.
This is happening to everybody.
On a global scale, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But at least,
But me,
mentally, I feel.
Staying inside and all that stuff, I can do that. Just years in jail, right? So it's like, I can do that. But for the rest of the world, that's kind of like, a lot of people can't do that. People get, and they get a little, and then they start getting a little, Charles Manson.
So what I was saying is that he makes me feel comfortable and calm. If he's calm, I'm calm. And I guess just his experience of having to sit in a space for, a length of time, he kind of shows me a relaxed vibe of it, so I haven't had so much anxiety.
She gets a little, a couple times she got a little.
I screamed.
Yeah. It happens.
I definitely screamed.
Chill out. Yeah. Parole's coming soon. Parole is coming soon.
Well, and I guess I'll take it back to the very first time when he asked for my number, and that girl said he's funny, because having someone to laugh with and to just like laughing is part of, it's a great muscle to have.
100%. To laugh is to love, right?
Yeah, it's very soothing. It's good for you. So I don't know. He makes me laugh, and that was the first thing that I was like, oh,
hello.
Personality is everything. your character, your integrity. That's important. And that's another tip.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate over here and test your relationship a little bit. Are you guys down for a game?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm cheesy too, and I call this
Two.
game.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Two. What do you mean two? You referring to me or what? Let's see about your pocket.
I guess we're both cheesy, Snow. So this game is called Lover's Quarrel or Not Lover's Quarrel. Now, the object of the game is that you must agree on one single answer in order to get a point. There's 14 possible points in this 2-round game. And if you do win this, I will crown you guys the Men's Line Podcast officially Couple of the Month. So let's begin. Brushing your teeth before or after breakfast?
Before.
Yeah. Before. Yep.
Yeah. I eat breakfast late. I eat breakfast like 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Like brunch.
Yeah. We don't eat breakfast. We go when we eat when we're hungry.
So next one. Afternoon nap or afternoon delight?
Afternoon delight, then afternoon nap.
That's the way to do it.
I'll take that. Yeah, sure.
Next one. Camping or glamping?
What's glamping?
It's like a fancy way of camping. So you're not camping in a tent. You're actually camping in an RV or whatever.
It's funny how you say that because my friend just texted me like yesterday. My friend Paul, who I grew up with since I was a little kid. And he's like, let's go. He wants to go away for a couple days, right? So he says, but I'm not roughing it with that bullshit. I'm not in a tent, and if it rains, I need a spot where there's a fireplace. And so that's what he said.
So he's a glamper. Paul is a glamper.
He's a glamper for sure.
So yeah, no, we're good. Camping, fire.
All right. Next question. Loss of eyesight or loss of hearing?
Oh. I'll take... Ooh, that's a tough one. What do you think? What would your answer be for this?
I say blind. Blind, because you can't hear music.
That's right. It's not easy, but for me, I'd be the same. I'd pick the same one as Snow. I can't live life without music. You know, it would suck not to be able to see, but you know, music. You've got rhythm, you've got soul, you've got a beat, you've got it all.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'll go with that too.
Music, you gotta have music, because when you hear music, you envision that you what is it called? When you start thinking.
Imagination.
Yeah, your imagination goes wild when you start listening to music, when you like have your headphones on and you just listen to it.
Oh yeah,
right?
Totally. I think music is like a soundtrack to your life. Like I hear a song and I remember exactly where I am. Like I listen to your music, Snow, and it puts me right back where I was.
Where were you when you first heard Informer?
Vancouver.
Oh yeah, the glorious time. So yes, it was a Vancouver, and it was with my friend William, who introduced me to you, Snow, and he took out this VHS tape and pops it in, and the first video that comes up is Girl, I've Been Hurt, and I was hooked. And after that, it was like snow, snow, snow all day long, every day.
Wow.
When I heard Informer, because the only time, because I never listened to Darren's music.
Play the game.
Sorry, I just want to talk about this one time. So this one time when his song came on the radio, I was with my older cousins and her friends, and everyone went crazy, and they were like, he lives in Ajax, oh my god, you know, our celebrity is in Ajax, they were all freaking out, and I remember looking out the window, and I was on the right back seat, and I was looking out the window, and I was like, and I just was like, oh, that's cool. And I didn't, and I would never have thought in a million years, so.
I know, crazy, right? And that's the thing. Music takes you right back to where you were. So next one is a really good one, and it is the bonus of round one. Bonus question of round one. So you've clogged a well-known celebrity's toilet. Number 2, of course. But you've decided to leave the scene of the crime. Minutes later, someone comes out and yells, "Who clogged the toilet?" Do you A, fess up, or B, join the masses, angrily waving your fist, demanding the culprit to come clean?
I don't rat on nobody. I don't rat on myself either. And that's it. I'm gone. I'm gone.
So you're going to exit the room, in other words.
I ain't saying I did it until they came with some DNA testing. And I don't think they want to do some DNA testing, so I'll beat that charge.
Oh my god, that's funny. You would leave the party.
I'm gone.
See you later.
I'm gone.
The snow's gone. On to round 2. Night in or night out?
Night in.
Ketchup or no ketchup on your mac and cheese?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't.
She's no.
I'm a no. I don't like ketchup near my
She loves
mac.
ketchup. She eats ketchup, but just not ketchup on.
With
on-
fries only.
Yum.
Classic.
All right, so unfortunately, you guys, I'm gonna have to dock off a point.
No,
Then it is.
I'm
That's
ketchup.
fine.
I'm
You guys cool with that? I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to dock up a point.
Yep, that's fine.
I think I ruined your relationship.
Thanks a lot, Alex.
ketchup.
All right, next question: New Kids or Backstreet?
New Kids! Darren did a performance with New Kids on the Block.
I know that
Yes!
is awesome.
But I'm a friend of Nick's,
Oh, are you?
right?
Oh, Nick
Carter?
Carter.
Yeah.
No, New Kids.
But yeah, New Kids.
You did a great performance. You know what? Quick little story.
Musically,
Of course.
New Kids.
I'm down with
Yeah.
New Kids too. That's my choice.
Yeah, New Kids. We're going New Kids.
But you know what's funny? So
What
quick
is that?
quick story. So after Darren performed at the Scotiabank Center, backstage, he knew that I my first concert ever was a New Kids on the Block concert.
Nice.
And so, yeah. And so he calls me and I'm like, hey, and it's not him. It's Donnie Wahlberg.
What?
So I'm literally trying to be and Lauren can hear him because the phone it's right there, and she's mouthing, and I'm like she's trying. She grabs my hand and she's holding my hand, and I'm like,
Amazing.
hey, oh that's awesome, and I just talk to him as normal as I can, and then they get off the phone, and then me and my friend Lauren are like, oh my god, and we And then I was like, was I okay? Did I sound normal? And she's like, of course, you were amazing. I was like, okay, phew. I didn't want to sound like a psycho, but it was like my 12-year-old girls, I was like, oh my God, in my head. It was really cool. And I mean, they're great artists too.
Oh,
he's a
totally.
great actor. And they just, they're amazing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm so glad that they were performing.
Yeah, New Kids on the Block are awesome for sure.
Yeah.
So next question. George Costanza from Seinfeld is quoted in saying, "It's not a lie if you believe it." Do you agree or disagree?
Hold on.
If it's
say
not,
it
it's
again?
not a lie if you believe it.
Of course, it's not a
Yeah.
lie. If you're telling something, you think it's real. It's real.
Okay,
Even if
yeah.
it is a lie.
Yeah.
Now we're on to the second round bonus question. So aliens have conquered the Earth. You are forced to listen to one song only on repeat for the rest of your human life. A. Sade, Smooth Operator, or B. Seal, Kiss from a Rose.
Sade.
Ooh, yeah, Sade. Yeah, we love Sade.
Excellent choice.
Yeah. She's great. I mean, please, her best of Sade, the Orange album.
The Rose song's good too, but that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's no contest.
I would
Sade.
kill myself if I.
Sade is a good choice for sure. So now we reach the daily double for both rounds. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Were Ross and Rachel really on a break?
Ooh, you know this, Darren?
What is it?
Ross and Rachel, were they really on a break?
What does that mean? Are they a couple?
So they were from the show Friends. Ross ended up sleeping with another woman while he believed they were on a break.
Ooh. Well, Darren doesn't really know the context, so I feel like that this has to
I don't watch the show.
it doesn't qualify, yeah, because he never the show would
I
have
got
been.
my own friends.
So hypothetical.
More.
Oh my god. Yeah, but just for hypothetical, what do you think? So this guy Ross, he slept with somebody else, but they were on break. He thought, but she thought they were together. What do you think that is? Miscommunication. That's what that is.
That's all it is.
Totally is. You got it.
Totally.
That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah.
If she thinks that, because he's not wrong,
Yeah. Because if he
because
thought,
they're not together, so he's not wrong.
It's a sticky
In
situation.
her eyes, she's wrong. Yeah, it's miscommunication. That's
Totally
that's what it is.
miscommunication. All right, guys. Well, I'm excited to tell you that you guys got 12 out of the 14 possible answers. Congratulations, you are the first official Menzion podcast couple of the month.
Woo! Don't think nobody's gonna beat it.
So guys, you have to tell us, what have you guys got cooking up for us?
Well, Darren's got some music stuff. I'm working on a poetry book.
That is
and
awesome.
Then we have a TV series in development. And what else? Oh gosh, just hanging out together.
Travel, fun.
Doing our thing. If we're gonna see how the world is. So we have a few things on the go, and it's all creative and
1,000-piece puzzle.
Yes, 1,000-piece puzzle that's super hard. Oh my God, worst puzzle ever. Hate it.
No way. And Snow, we're all dying to find out, how's the new upcoming album going along?
It was coming along pretty good until this happened. So, but we're starting to get back. People are sending. We're doing big things.
Yeah, I think globally everybody's kind of doing that. I know that in Toronto they are opening more stores on Tuesday, and things are kind of slowly coming back. But it's definitely a new world, and
it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's not really that hard for me because I get paid for people staying at home and listening to my music and staying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not for me. It's not so hard on me because I'm losing my job out there and I can't go to work.
Yeah,
right.
People listen to it.
Very fortunate.
So fortunate that way, and feel bad that people don't have do a little something, but they'll get back to you. Everything will be good. They got family time. Just think of this as just a little family time, and don't be scared of the flu. It's just a little flu. Don't be scared of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and don't be mean to people. That's the one thing about it. Don't be mean to people who are walking by. Everybody's looking like everybody's got this disease. Everybody's just
true. That's so true.
And so mean. I smile at everybody now.
Yeah.
Even her, ask her. I helped people. The other day, I helped this lady with her. Remember that TV? She was trying to sing the TV.
Yeah. No, it's true.
So just be people and just and that's it.
Yeah, for sure. I think the pandemic for me, it's like a blessing in disguise because I was so busy, with work and whatnot, and now I'm like forced to, and happily forced to, stay home and spend time with my family, my wife and my little daughter, and it's just the most amazing thing in the world. I couldn't have asked for more. So, like I said, it's a blessing in disguise, and also creatively too, right? Because a lot of people are out there doing things that they would not normally do under such circumstances. Snow and Tara, I just want to thank you so much again for being on the Menzion podcast. You guys are one of a kind. Like I mentioned, watching you guys on your listening party really inspires me, and you guys have such an awesome relationship, a great story, and I know it's gonna affect other marriages and relationships out there for sure. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day and talking to me.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is amazing podcast, and the fact that you launched this and just starting something new and creative and inspirational. It's so important for globally and we're really thankful for being guests and being able to share what we have. So.
Oh, thank you so much, Snow and Tara. You guys were on top of my list because, like I said, you guys have such an inspiring relationship and marriage, and it really touches me, and I know it's going to touch others as well. So thank you so much for being on the show. A special thanks to Snow and Tara. Follow Snow and Tara together on Instagram at snow.much.fun. You could also follow Snow at SnowDKO and Tara at The Real Snow White. Please be sure to visit www.daddysnow.com for some sweet merch.
Playing silly games, I need you by my side, it's the only way, my sweet lady. I can't deny it, you are the one for me.